through your freedom.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Oh, here we are, folks. Can you handle the truth? Right. We're exposing, in fact, it's not just you and I. What you and I are like Paul Revere's of messages. Who is doing some big time exposing? Well, it's at the highest levels. Finally, we're getting something. This is really big news in the world of SHTF, because the person and persons we've been battling for public exposure, for public acceptance of a narrative, has been the CDC and the little doctor, folks, little drippy faucet, Dr. Doom. He has been the one who needs to be exposed. And so what we have, folks, is we have the shit coming out of the horse. And the question is Dr. Faucet and the mainstream media powerful enough to keep it in the horse? Right? Once the shit's out of the horse, you can't stop it. It's coming out now. You can't put it back in. What is going to happen? Senator Johnson held a huge hearing called Second Opinion. So this is Senator Ron Johnson, who's a Republican out of the state of Wisconsin. He invited a bunch of speakers to come and explain what their opinion is, a second opinion. And the idea has been to expose the money-making racket, the dollars in the SHTF, right? And this is highest level. I can't battle Dr. Drippy Faucet because they have censored and silenced me and you, right? But a U.S. senator has a little more power politically. Now, will the mainstream media cover it? Not likely. Will they, they're not going to cover him. CBS, NBC, CNN won't have cameras there just going, wow, we had no idea. Folks, the mainstream media has all the idea in the world. And what they've wanted to do is just wipe the board clean of anyone with a different opinion. So thank God, Senator Johnson, and I'm going to start calling him Big Johnson. The same way we have Big Marge. If you're going to make a big splash, you need a Big Johnson. So Senator Johnson is out there, folks, and he's got medical experts and doctors that want to give a second opinion on what's going on. So he had Dr. Peter McCullough, someone that we've had on the Prepared Mind Patreon site, having him quoted, Dr. Brett Weinstein, Dr. Jay Batachira, I can't say his name, I apologize for butchering that, Dr. Cole, Dr. Rish, Dr. Farade, Dr. Corey, Dr. Urso, Dr. Paul Merrick, Cariardi, and of course, Dr. Malone and Wiseman. That's a lot of doctors, folks. And there were other professionals there, watchdogs, who wanted their opinions heard, a second opinion, folks. And this is all about exposing the facts. I don't want to say exposing the lies. I want to say exposing the facts, because isn't that what science is about? It's about information and facts and examining them, not just wiping them off the table, Dr. Faucet, not just ignoring them and pretending they're not there, but actually getting the facts out, putting the facts on the table and exposing this SHTF for what it is. I'm hoping, folks, the excerpts of this meeting have been tweeted out. Excerpts of this are being spread in video social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. And I wish YouTube allowed it, because it is eye-opening. Now, what's I find fascinating about this is not so much the information, which you and I have been going over and covering by watching these videos through BitChute and other media sources, as well as reading the articles, all of which we share on Patreon. So if you're a Patreon member, $2 a month, 7 cents a day, you get access to all that information that's being shared and spread. I mean, literally, folks, we all have to do our homework, and we should. Right? It's not anyone else's responsibility to make sure I know what I know. I have to go find out for myself and choose for myself. And that's what the media wants to take from us. They want to take away your choices and your options. So you only have one story, one option, and that's to obey. Very fascinating stuff. Now, what we're looking at here is the unraveling of the great hoax. It's happening all at the same time, all while they are trying to maintain the hoax, to push more hoax on us. And I'm going to get into that too. I may do a second video today. There is some just incredible information coming out at a time when the unicorn variant is failing to convince and scare people, other than the sheep in the sheep pen over here. You know, these sheep, they're scared. They got them. But the unicorn is failing to do what they wanted it to do. The media is failing, folks, to convince people. It's losing its influence and power because people don't like to sit in front of a television and just be lied to all night, all day, all morning, and then all night again. They're tired of that, right? I'm trying to put facts out there, and I'm not allowed. The media is allowed to put misinformation and lies out there and get away with it, and people are sick of it. They're being told the world is dying on the streets, and they look around and everything's normal, right? If there's one thing that's normal in this world, it's the death rate, right? We haven't had millions and millions of people die in the United States of America. We just have the normal death rate. Anyways, statistics and facts be damned, I guess. What is coming to a head here is Senator Johnson has held a second opinion hearing. These hearings need to continue. The people in these hearings were saying, we need to have criminal investigations of the Department of Defense, of the CDC, of the participating members who have worked with the Chinese. This is all out there now, folks. It's out there. And now what needs to happen is it needs to be shared. It needs to be disseminated. It needs to be examined by America. And that's what the media used to do. Provide you some general information, let you make some decisions. They don't do that now. I think the media is every bit as culpable as everyone else for their participation in this incredible SHTF corruption. What are you going to do, folks? I'm going to ask you to share this video with others, to tell people they need to start paying attention. Look up second opinion, right? SECOND opinion hearing. Just type it in on Google, Yahoo, type it in on DuckDuckGo, wherever you can, and it's out there, right? And big tech does not like this, folks, but they can't silence us 100%. They're having a hard time. Share the information by text. This is incredible. We need to expose this. It's not going to end SHTF, but it could end portions of it or parts of it. And it's certainly going to make it harder for their lies to persist and continue. You know, once again, when you get a big dog in Washington like Senator Johnson doing this, he needs to be joined by other senators. Where are the rest of the Republicans on this? He's a senator. Where are the House of Representatives members who want freedom and liberty? The stories we're going to be covering, folks, are incredible. And I'm going to give you this one for example. Right? We have a ton of problems with this mandate nonsense. The Supreme Court said mandates don't work except in the healthcare industry. While I disagree with even the healthcare industry, private corporations have no say. Well, Ford Motor Company woke up this morning and decided, screw the Supreme Court. They're going to have their own Jim Jones juice mandate for remote workers. Now, Folks, HIPAA lawsuits are coming. No company has the right to demand to know the medical records of anyone, or make demands they get medical procedures or take a medicine that the company wants them to take. And this is incredible. In just 2 years, corporations and tyrants have forgotten how to think. There's no rationale. There's no reason now. Statistics don't support the spam-demic and its existence. And no company has the right to demand obedience to their newly discovered insanity. But Ford Motor Company is going to do it. What about these HIPAA laws, this right to privacy, medical privacy? I mean, it's almost like decades of social evolution have just washed away, and it's social evolution in the direction of your rights, your liberty, your freedom have just been washed away because a short little man has been screaming from the microphone that you need to wear 6 masks. There's more to this, folks. There's more to this insanity. But we need to expose it at its root. That is the belief that what they're doing is true and correct. What they're doing, claiming cerveza bug is the world's greatest threat, and then claiming that the Jim Jones juice is the solution. That's where Senator Johnson is at, right at the root of it. Once you kill that root, everything else in that, shall we say, weed, right? That bad tree. The roots are bad, the tree is bad, and the fruit that it's producing is very bad. And we will continue to cover this, folks, because it's real. So join in the effort, expose it, and thank you for your support here. Folks, you've got to be ready. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and a plan, because things are going to get nasty on many fronts. This narrative, this spam-demic is failing. So they're going to have to push other forms of SHTF on us. But we need to go after this one and expose it, spread the word, get people paying attention. And I'm going to say support these politicians who are finally doing something constructive. We're paying them to represent us. Whether we pay them or not, they've chosen to represent us, and they should represent the people's will. So, thank God for Senator Johnson. And we need more people, more men, more women like him up there demanding that a second opinion be provided. Godspeed to you all. Semper Fi. Oh, and chance favors the prepared mind. Aren't you glad you're a prepper? Make the right decisions.